What's going on, everybody? This is just someone six back here again, and today I want to talk to you guys about this LA Wildcats game as they went up against the Dallas Renegades. We saw the introduction of Landry Jones, who was supposed to be the face of the XFL. We saw some new quarterback play with Johnson from the LA Wildcats. This was a pretty good football game, right? I thought it was slow in the first half. There was a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers, but in the second half, it was a lot more cleaned up. It was a lot more action. Again, was really I love the special teams, especially on the kickoff and kick return coverages. I loved it a lot. We saw some playmakers like Nelson Spruce out there, who might just be the best receiver in the XFL. We saw guys like Lance Dunbar and oh my God, this name is about to escape me. Oh, Cameron Artis-Payne from Auburn. We saw him. He had 99 yards rushing. We really haven't seen a lot of running backs that was just that big splash on guy, but Cameron Artis-Payne was that guy today for the Dallas Renegades, which got them this victory. But man, I thought that overall wise, this was a pretty good game. I thought the atmosphere in the LA Wildcats Stadium, I thought was really, really good. And yeah, just very, very exciting. And I think that as far as for the XFL, this is really, really good product, what we saw tonight. Um, I would say the one negative, and the one negative I had about this game was these reporters, man. I am sick and tired of. I'm just kind of sick and tired of ESPN in general, man. These reporters rushing on the football field, interviewing these players when they're just, again, just like when they're just in just emotion. I don't like it. I like the player interviews. Don't get me wrong. I like the player interviews, but when you're in their face like all the time, especially when you're running out in the football field and they're scoring a touchdown or when they're about to kick off the ball, I just don't like that. So that was my one negative about this game. But overall wise, this was overall a really good game. So the score of this game was 25-18 by the Dallas Renegades. And Landry Jones, again, he had a slow first half. Matter of fact, I couldn't even say that because he was moving the ball effectively and efficiently with Bob, right? Bob Stoops. The way he kind of called this game again, had a lot of short intermediate throws, had a lot of these receivers sit in the zone. They were moving the ball pretty effectively, but Landry Jones and this Renegades team just kept turning over the ball when they just kept getting deep into the Wildcats territory. The Wildcats did the exact same thing, though. They did the exact same thing. They moved the ball pretty smooth, pretty efficiently. They ran the ball pretty good, and then they just, it was just turnovers. Not to say that again, it's not their faults entirely because they're again, the defense has made some good plays, right? I know the LA Wildcats, they made some, there were some huge hits, there were some deflections out there, but it was a slot. I would say it was pretty sloppy as far as just the turnover margins in the first half. The second half got a lot better. It was a lot more cleaned up. You start to see a lot more cleaner football, and I thought Dallas really won this game by just running and pounding the rock. They moved the ball, of course. They moved the ball with Landry Jones throwing it in the air. He wasn't really efficient, but Bob Stoops really ran the football because it was just the best thing that was working for these guys, right? You saw Lance Dunbar make plays. You saw Cameron Artis-Payne make plays in the ground game. And it really, really worked out for them in the end. It won them the football game, right? That Cameron Artis-Payne touchdown, at the end, which kind of sealed the deal for this game, right? The LA Wildcats, they were in the game the entire time, but what helped them, I think, push it and just really combat turnovers, right? Johnson threw the ball pretty effectively in the second half. He made some dart throws, especially that one in the goal line where he made a huge throw to Spruce, in the back of the end zone, right in front of two defenders. He squeezed that ball in. Johnson was pretty efficient in the second half, but overall wise, I felt like maybe the lack of the run game in the second half, or maybe they went away from it too much, I thought ultimately cost them this game. But yeah, I love the fact how, again, pounding the rock, running the ball, playing that that old school football towards the end of the game, that it will help you win because again, it chews up the clock a little bit. The game is already fast as far as just the time and the play clock and stuff like that. So running the ball, chewing out the clock, tiring out the defense, I felt really helped Dallas to win this football game. It really helped them to win this football game, especially when Landry Jones, this is his first game in years. So I'm not giving up on Landry Jones, saying that he can't be the face of the XFL because again, he is the number one pick. He's a guy that's had a lot of success in the University of Oklahoma. And he's also had some success with the Steelers, especially as a backup quarterback. He might just be a guy that is rusty, that needs maybe a couple games under his belt to get really the feel for his team and the receivers and the offensive line, the communication and stuff like that. I feel like the chemistry is just not there yet. There were moments, but overall wise, as a Dallas Renegade fan, you got to be pleased with the effort that your team gave you. You got to be pleased with that. For the LA Wildcats, I can say the same exact thing, especially because last week you had a different quarterback. This week you had to rotate, I think, a couple different quarterbacks in this game. Johnson, I think Johnson's that guy. I think he brings a certain energy to your team that your past two quarterbacks haven't brought. So I think that these guys should honestly stick with Johnson as that guy. That's just my opinion on that. I think Johnson should just be that guy for the LA Wildcats and just move on from there, because you don't want to keep switching. You don't want to keep messing up the chemistry. I know that right now the front office, they've been right. They let go of their best defensive player. They fired their defensive coordinator, I believe. You know, you don't want to keep making all these changes, especially when you're fighting for a playoff position in a very, very difficult conference when you're competing. Well, not really difficult, because I think Seattle won their game, but just overall wise, I mean, you're fighting for playoff position. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. You don't want to just keep messing things up for your organization. But overall wise, I thought it was a really good game. Again, it was sloppy in the first half, but again, it was really, really great, clean football until I thought in the second half. The only problem I had with this game was the interviews. They need to ESPN really just needs to calm down with that. I don't really have that much of a problem with Fox doing it. ESPN just carries it just way over the top. They need to chill with that. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys want more XFL football coverage, hit that subscribe button if you guys want more of that. And again, if you like the video, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe. Really helps out the channel a lot. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So anyway, guys, this is Jan716. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.